House approved a budget plan to close the state's $5 billion budget deficit. Would you please talk about what this means for the 28th District?
So the budget that we passed on Saturday is not the budget I looked forward to passing. It's a tough budget, but the problem is that we're in very tough times right now. It's a responsible budget and it's sustainable given the circumstances that we're under. The budget was full of cuts that will be affecting virtually everyone across our state and also in our district. We made cuts to education, we made cuts to social services. We did a lot of combining and deleting of programs in state government. We have insisted on layoffs of state workers. We have insisted on furlough days and state worker increases in paying their health care benefits. And basically, there's not a lot of happy news in this budget. The message about this budget, though, is that we are constitutionally required to have a balanced budget. We are not allowed to do deficit spending, so we basically had to balance the budget with the money that we have guaranteed coming in. And what that means is this is a very responsible budget and a budget that is sustainable given our current situation. We don't have the luxury of having new revenues coming in to be able to do some of the things that we would like to do, particularly in education and social services. But I think that this budget does reflect our values, and I will say that in a couple of examples. One is that we were able to maintain the basic health plan. It's a health plan for low-income folks in our state. We were able to maintain that. We were also able to maintain a program called Disability Lifeline, which is for folks who are unable to work for a short period of time to get the health care they need and the housing they need so they won't be homeless. We also preserved a lot of educational programs that we feel like were just totally necessary to be able to have our kids have a good education and to invest in our children. After this recession is over, we want to have a bright future. And so we had to make sure that we didn't tear down our infrastructure. You know, we talk about infrastructure a lot of times like it's roads and bridges, but infrastructure is also programs. And we needed to try to maintain at least the skeletons of some of our programs so that when times are better, we can build them back up. But it is a very tough budget. It's not a budget I was happy to vote for. It took courage to vote for this budget because I didn't come to Olympia to cut programs and to hurt people. But I do think that this budget does hold our safety net together, not as tightly as I would like it to be. There's some gaps here and there, but we do have a safety net instead of eliminating a safety net. So for all of us, it's going to be another couple of tough years till our economy turns around, but I have hope that what we've done in this budget lays the groundwork for us to move forward in a more prosperous time.
What are the next steps in the budget process?
We did the House budget first. Now the Senate will do a budget. We're expecting that to come out early sometime this week. And then there will be a great bit of negotiating and debating over whose budget is right and how we will get to a final budget. Certainly at this time, it's very important that folks in the district continue to weigh in on what's important to them. Now that we actually have a House budget, you can actually refer to the House budget and say, we like this, we don't like that. Certainly this is the time when we are really beginning to have final discussions on what the final numbers will be. So this is a time that I need to hear from you and that my other seatmates, Representative Kelly and Senator Carroll, also need to hear from you about what do you think about the budget at this point. There is still time to influence the decisions. So it'd be really great to hear from you and hear what you think is important and see if you agree with me that this is a responsible, sustainable budget given the tough times that we're in.